Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Quick Looks with the Casual Hour. I'm Chase Kenneke. I'm joined today by Bobby Pease. Hi, Bobby.
What have I gotten myself into?
Well, I hope you can survive this quick look, Bobby. I know it's going to be difficult for you, but I think we can make it through.
I will do my digi best.
Very good. This is Digimon Survive. Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead. I was just going to start the quick look, but whatever you want to do.
Well, it's rarefied air here, Chase, to be able to talk to the connoisseur of anime about anime, and I was always under the rule of thought that Digimon were not on the same level of excitement as Pokemon. Like, I thought you had to pick one or the other, and here you are playing both.
I think there's definitely a stigma that comes with Digimon as discount Pokemon, and I think that is occasionally earned. Occasionally unfair.
Okay.
We'll see how it translates to this game exactly, but this is Digimon Survive. It came out July 28th of 2022. It is developed by HYDE, who's made some games that you have never played, Bobby, and never will.
All right. Nice.
And it's published by Bandai Namco. This is an odd one, Bobby. Because this is a turn-based tactical strategy game, which like an XCOM or a Fire Emblem, and to that I say, ooh, yes, tell me more. And then it's also a visual novel, which I'm not against. I just find a little odd for the the combination of genres.
What's the toilet?
Oh, you want to go to the toilet? Yeah, we'll go to the toilet. Okay, so the story here is that you got a group of kids who have been transported to a weird world. They're not exactly sure what it is. They came out to camp at a school.
An isekai.
Yes, Digimon mostly is an isekai, especially the animes. This one is kind of one. They just don't understand what's happening exactly. So they go to this school to do some school trip / research thing, and a bunch of them kind of get lost and fall down a hole, and then they're in this world that also has the same school, but the school is very run down, and they learn later that they're actually not in the world that they thought they were, and things are just weird, and they're not sure what's going on. Anyway, we are in the toilet here of the school. There's nothing to see here, honestly. So
you're moving that with you got the cursor control, kind of like the Destiny cursor type deal. Is that what's going on here?
Yeah. So when I'm in an exploration mode right now, which just means I can kind of go from place to place on the map, and I can look at stuff.
Switch, right?
We are on the Switch. This game is also on PC. I believe it's on Xbox, and I know it's on PlayStation.
Okay.
So I have all these other places I can go to during this exploration mode. This is technically an exploration mode, but they specifically call it a free action mode. You see up there in the top right, I've got a number of moves, 9 to be exact. And
I was going to ask about that.
So this doesn't always happen in the game. This is so far for me a relatively rare thing. I've been putting a lot of time into this game. I think I'm around 30 hours. If you're just playing this like a normal human being, you probably should be able to beat it within 30 hours. But I've been doing dumb stuff because I like seeing the Digimon.
Are the moves that you have up there right now equivalent to in a Persona? You only have so much things that you can do outside of a battle. Is that what this is?
So let's say I go to the music room here. I can see some characters. I can see these two kids. This is me. I'm Takuma. So I could talk to these children, and you see it's going to cost 1 move for me to talk to Miyuki. Again, this is not how it always works. There's a lot of times where you can just freely talk to whoever you want, and occasionally they will move the plot forward, and sometimes they just say a dumb, useless thing that doesn't matter. So you can scan around like this, but you see there on the bottom, I can just use the L and R buttons to explore sight, and I can snap to any of the things here. I don't have to hunt and peck for the different things that are.
I know this is on
selectable.
PC, and I wonder what I'd have to imagine that just this here anytime you have a cursor, like I'm immediately gonna be like, that would be better on PC than a
Maybe,
joystick.
but I think this game also. This game is weird in that I think it has a lot of quality of life things that help it go faster, like this quick select.
Yeah.
But also everything just feels so slow regardless. It does feel like you're in molasses, even for a visual novel that should not have that much stuff to select. Anyway, let's select something like this accordion. Do what?
There's a little sicko on the ground. Who was that?
Oh, you mean that? You mean this guy? This guy?
Yeah.
That's
Who's that little sicko?
That's an Agumon. I can show you here with my Digimon here. That's an Agumon. See, he's got pepper breath. It's a classic skill.
All right.
Well, we'll get into more of that later. We're doing the visual novel stuff first, and then I'll get to the combat part.
Okay.
The visual novel I don't think is super good. Like, look at these old drums in the corner. I can select those, and Takuma will say something about them. I wonder what he has to say about these old drums in a corner that are kind of dusty.
The drums have been placed haphazardly. All of the drum heads are discolored. Wow. And you can't even increase like the text speed, can you?
I can button through, yeah. Like I can go to portrait here and I can click through.
Okay.
So yeah, fuck that. But yeah, honestly, there's not much to say on many of these things. So let's just talk to Miyuki. We'll burn one of our moves here and see what she has to say. Miyuki's a little weird. She's kind of she was here when we got here. She's not a student. She and her brother.
The Digimon's talking. Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Digimon can talk. Sorry. All Digimon are meowths. Digimon are allowed to talk.
Thank you for that.
Miyuki, though, she doesn't talk that much. She usually just kind of echoes the last thing her brother said. And she's we're trying to figure out what's going on here. See, she's not much of a talker. And nobody kind of knows what to do with her. And her brother's like, I don't know, she's just like that.
Weird.
Yeah, see? You don't need to worry about the two of them. The game actually starts with these two, and she's trying to protect her little brother from something.
With Miyuki and Haru there? That's really like the game. Okay.
Yeah.
They were in this world that you got transported to.
Right. They've been here a lot longer than us, we assume. And again, the beginning of the game, which the students don't see, she's trying to protect her brother from some evil Digimon, and some shit happens to her, and now she's really gloomy like this. So something happened to her to make her like this. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, this text doesn't honestly really matter. We're kind of trying to move the plot forward. I'm in part 5. I don't know how many parts there are. I know there are at least 7, but I think it goes even higher than that. And Bandai Namco kind of came out and said, hey, if you're going to show some of the game, please don't show anything after Chapter 5. We're not really showing anything important here.
I was going to... Okay.
So yeah, it's not like an embargo. It's just like hey, it'd be really cool if everybody, just didn't spoil the plot twist. I have not seen whatever this plot twist is yet. I think it happens sometime later in this part 5, so we'll get there. Probably not this quick look, but I'll figure out what this twist is. But so far, the visual novel has been a little bit bad to me. A little boring. A lot of characters talking, saying the same things. You get these dialogue choices, and it's always 3. You get dialogue choices where it's not always 3, but in this sense, you're only going to get 3. See how this one kind of glows green, this one kind of glows red, and this one kind of glows yellow. Yeah. So, Bobby, you've played a game called Mass Effect before, where sometimes it has like different places. Like, the Paragon options are always going to be in the top right. The Renegade options are always in the bottom right. That's kind of what this is. The red choice is a moral choice. Yellow is wrathfulness, and green is harmony. So it doesn't really matter what you pick. It doesn't change the story whatsoever. It's kind of just hey, how are the character going to react to this one sentence? And then we're gonna wrap it right back to the story that we're trying to tell. So you don't really get a lot of choice in this game. What this does affect, though, is the way that Agumon evolves, your little yellow dinosaur guy.
Okay.
If you're more in the moral, he'll evolve into one thing. If you're more in the wrathfulness, he'll evolve into another. I think I have a lot of harmony points right now, so I'm going to try to go with moral and see what's happening. I don't even remember what this kid said, and it doesn't matter because it's not going to change literally anything. So even if I choose the option that's like, "Hey, fuck off, kid," it's gonna say like, "Oh, that was kind of mean to say. Oh well, let's continue our conversation," and it's not gonna matter.
All right. I don't want to be like ageist here by any stretch, but
Yeah, what's up?
Pokemon's a kid's game that adults happen to like as they grew up with it and they have fond memories with it, and they have
Correct.
not changed the game to meet the adult audience. Like it's still a game being designed for a youthful audience.
Yeah.
And I am getting the sense that maybe Digimon is not as placed in those moral, but this is still geared towards children, correct?
No. I'm gonna say no on this one. Digimon, back in the day, was definitely a kids show, but the kids who watched it would always say, "Ooh, it's more mature than Pokemon," and like maybe kind of it was a little bit more mature, but not by much. This game is trying to actually be a bit of a horror game. It's not very good at it, but it's trying to deal with some deeper themes about these characters. I would say this one is trying to be more mature, even if I don't think it always nails the landing. Anyway, so we burned one of our moves here. We can go and talk to other people in our crew. Maybe it'd just be better. Can I show off? Yeah, I can just show off people here. So here are the other people here. Here's my guy. He's got this Agumon. When we fall into the digital world, well, we don't know if it's the digital world or not, but it's Digimon. It's probably the digital world. They find Digimon here, who do not call themselves Digimon. The only time you'll ever see Digimon here is in the title. There's like a legend of what these things are called that are like the Kenamogi or something like that. And then everybody just calls them monsters, and the Digimon will go like, "I'm not a monster." And then somebody will ask, "Okay, well, what are you?" And they're like, "I don't know, I'm just me." And like, okay, whatever you say. This is Kato. He's got Dracmon. His sister is Miyu. She's got a Syakumon. Aoi. I'm probably pronouncing that one wrong. Minoru, Shuji, Ryo, Saki, and the professor. I think little spoiler here, Bobby. I think the professor's dead.
Oh God. Okay.
Yeah, I think something happened to the professor, and then Miyuki and Haru. Anyway, you do have. I'm sorry. You do have affinity with these characters. You can see I have relatively high affinity with Oi and Minoru. These guys are like my childhood friends who we were buddies. We started the game together, and the other people are a little bit lower because I haven't known them as long, and they haven't been in the game as long. Affinity you can occasionally get by doing the discussions and getting somebody's affinity up. It kind of is random when those things occur. And affinity affects what the free battles are, and the normal battles. We'll go into a free battle here so we can show off the battling part. But if you have high affinity with somebody, when you attack near them, they will sometimes give you bonuses, either do a team up attack or power up your attack or just heal you at the end of your attack, which is kind of useful. The problem is the battles, I don't think are all that fun, which is a bummer because that's the part that I was hoping to like the most. We'll see when we get in here. It's mainly a couple things. One, it's too easy. And to be fair, I did turn the difficulty all the way down because I just wasn't having fun doing the battles to begin with. But I have made these incredibly easy now. But they were easy before. And then it also just takes so goddamn long for them to do literally anything. It takes a long time to choose all your team members. I get 6 here. I've got a bunch of Digimon here that I can choose from. I need to choose at least a couple of these kids. Let's make sure Floramon gets in here because she's one with the kids. And let's get Falcomon. He's Minoru's guy. We'll put him in here too. And then I can fill the rest of them with whoever. Let's get my Gabumon in there. He's a classic Digimon guy. Let's get a Gatomon in here. And let's do Fangmon. Alright, so we're going to start one of these free battles. Eventually. Here we go. We need to defeat all the enemies. They also just never want to say battle, which is very weird. Everything shortens to start bat. It's very good. Yeah. It's very funny. So you can look around here, like, oh, this is a Tuskmon, and these are Betamon, and I don't see any chests in here. Sometimes you'll occasionally see like a box that you can break open that has a consumable item in it if you want that. So I got my 6 Digimon. It all goes off of the character's speed stats, so it's not just I move all my guys and they move all their guys. It goes by turn order of who is the fastest. So I'm going to move Fangmon all the way up. And it's just very slow. I also have the battle speed up to double speed. Okay. And it's still slow. I think you can do it up to quad, but it's still slow at that point too. Okay, another thing you could do. I could evolve this Digimon right now. I could turn her into a Vegemon. The kid Digimon, as in the ones that are associated with kids, like Floramon or Falcomon there, they can evolve back and forth. So I can turn her into a Vegemon, and then I could turn her back if I wanted to. At the end of the battle, she'll go back to being a Floramon again. Digimon like Fangmon or Gabumon here, I have convinced them to join my team, and they are free Digimon, which means they're not associated with one of the kids, and they can also just evolve permanently. So that Fangmon didn't used to be a Fangmon. He was a different thing that I ended up grabbing and evolving. So one of the things that only the kid character Digimon can do is use the talk function. So I can either give myself a bonus. She'll give a special defense bonus, and I can give that to either of the kid Digimon, or I can talk to the foe, like a Shin Megami Tensei game. So let's talk to one of these Tuskmon. I don't have a Tuskmon. I would like a Tuskmon. So let's do this. So when you talk, you basically get 3 prompts, and they are randomized in a small set. So I think he's got like 5 or 6 different things he can say, and you need to give responses to that. So this is the first one. Arg, grarg, anyone else just gets in my way. What do you think we should say to that, Bobby?
Calm down already.
Calm down already? Well, you know what, Bobby? Let me consult the guide, because honestly, that's the only way you could ever know what to say to these guys, other than, I guess, trial and error, which also sucks. Sorry, what'd you say?
Calm down already.
Well, you know what, Bobby? You might be a savant, because that's what you're supposed to call. So that gets us 2 pips. There's also a choice that would only get us 1 pip. And then there are some choices that would... I think one choice gets you nothing, and then maybe the other choice subtracts how much he likes you.
Nobody in the history of ever has laughed and said good when they were told to calm down.
Yeah,
I was going to say, like, nobody has ever responded that way.
You know what? Fair. These conversations feel really forced and really unfun. And again, feel very trial and error if you're not just looking up a guide, and you should just look up a guide because they're arduous anyway. All right, Bobby, you're still the Digimon Whisperer, so let's see if you can get the second one right. Did you know taking a nap after stuffing your face is just the best? What do you have to say to that?
Yeah, the best.
Sorry, it's bad for your gut.
I didn't think that he would like that, though.
Yeah, but he apparently thinks it's not bad. Last time, he's going to pulverize us. Gwahahaha. What do you have to say to that?
This will be your grave.
I'm sorry, it's not if I beat you.
God.
Don't you see, Bobby? Don't you understand how this Digimon talks now?
No.
No, I don't either. I've played other games like this where you have to talk to monsters, and sometimes there will be oh, this one always wants you to be really aggressive with it, or this one needs you to be calm and friendly. That's not what these are. These just feel random, which makes it even more vital that you just look at a guide, because they're not fun. They're not good conversations. Anyway, once you've got him all the way up and have done your conversation thing, you see I have a 22% success rate. I think that's also based on that moral, wrathful, harmonious choice. If I choose more of the moral options, there are quote-unquote moral Digimon that I might be able to convince to be my friend more. So the 22% chance is for him to join my team, or I can get a guaranteed item out of him. I want him to be my friend. I know it's a low chance, but I'm going to try it. Oh man, 22%. I hit it. He's gonna join the team.
Wow.
Sweet. Did it. You know what? Since we're here, let's also just evolve Floramon here to Vegemon so you can see what that looks like. Oh, also, everything's in Japanese. I mean, the writing's in English, but they're speaking Japanese. They did not get English VO for this.
That's fair.
Which happens a lot, and that's fine. Hey, here's another thing I hate about these kinds of turn-based RPGs, or turn-based tactical RPGs, is choosing which direction you are facing at the end of a turn. If somebody hits you from the back, they get a back attack, which does a bunch of damage. They can also hit you from the side, which does some damage, and hitting you from the front does the least amount of damage. I just don't like this system. I think it's really easy for enemies to get behind you. And it sucks. I've never been a fan of it. I hate it in all the games that it's in. You know what? Let's talk to this Tuskmon again. This time we're going to get an item from it, and we'll see what happens. Waiting around makes him so crazy. Can't say the same. Sure. Yep. Am I eating enough meat? What do you think, Bobby?
Not really.
No, yeah, I eat everything. That's what this man likes. Oh, you know this one, Bobby.
It's bad for your gut.
It's bad for your gut. See? Okay, now we've trialed and errored this. We've got it. We know. It just sucks. It sucks to do this. Let's get an item from him. Let's see what he gives us as an item.
I have not seen a lot of things here that I would say don't suck to do.
You're kind of right. I got a big bandage, which is a consumable health item.
I'm being serious. Like
I know you are.
The visual novel stuff seemed like a pretty big slog, and the battle. If you're
the
gonna
battle's
have these,
also
like,
a pretty big slog.
Yeah, that's like it would be all right if the battle was a bit more streamlined and polished in comparison to something that is as slow as a visual novel. But when you have these two pieces of core mechanics that are both slogs, they don't harmonize in a way that makes you feel like you can take your time in a visual novel, because hey, I'm gonna have a lot of action. I'll be able to, like, I just got through a big battle that was intense. I got a few new Digimon. I'm gonna go focus on my relationships, exploration. But when it feels the same pace across the board, it's just like, ugh. And like, I'm being very personal here. I typically play games late at night as I'm winding down. And I can tell you right now, I probably wouldn't make very long sessions with this game.
I don't think you would. I barely make long sessions with it, even though you kind of need to make long sessions to make any sort of progress. I also don't really love the camera. I feel like it's really easy to...
I was going to call that out. I was going to call it out.
I wish it was a little higher. I need it to be just a little bit higher.
Especially for this type of game.
You can't... you might be able to zoom in. Oh, yeah, you can zoom the camera in and out.
I don't think it's the distance that does it for me. Like,
yeah,
you go
no,
further
it's just,
out.
I just need a higher
I
angle.
Right here, but like tilted up in an angle a little bit more.
Yep, you're right. Anyway, if you want to make the battle slightly less of a slog, you can just auto battle, and the game's easy enough to just do that. So I'm just gonna put the controller down, and I'm gonna watch them slowly.
So while you're doing that,
get there.
Let's just, for anybody who doesn't know who we are at the Casual Hour, we have a podcast, but Chase talks about, he's been talking about this game on that podcast for a while. Yeah,
I've been anticipating this one for a while.
And so I had even, like, based off of his hype and based off of what the game was like saying on paper, not having any affinity with this series at all, I was asking Chase, like, hey, is this something I should get? And when I heard him say no, and I explored that further and heard some of his frustrations, I'm now witnessing some of those, and it's a bummer because I think this has the bones to be cool, but I don't know if it is.
Yeah, that's my thought, is that I think the bones of this are actually pretty interesting. I think you could make a cool visual novel tactical RPG. I think that's possible.
Yeah.
And they've got a lot of concepts in here, and I think most of them are interesting and just fail in ways. So I'd really like to see them be able to refine this and make a sequel and do something cool with it. But this game just doesn't really feel like it. And I think a lot of this has to do with just, in the battles at least, character movement. Look, this Angemon here is supposed to be a pretty good Digimon. He flies, so he can go over any type of terrain, but his move amount is only 3. And the best I've seen a Digimon move is 4. And that's just really slow. Like, the slowest characters in Fire Emblem move 4 or 5 spaces, and the ones, the fastest ones can move like 7 or 8 or 9. And it just makes battles go, and these battles don't go. Also, when you attack, there's no guarantee of counterattacks from enemies or vice versa. In fact, I've only had this game, in the whole 30 hours I've played, I've only gotten one of my Digimon to counterattack. So you're also just having very slow battles where somebody attacks, then you have to wait for your turn so you can attack them back, and then you have to wait for their turn so they can attack you back. And it takes up so much time for something that feels so unsatisfying once you're finished with it. And that's the real bummer.
Outside of everything else, like, there's more and more games making games there's more and more games coming out that do these types of mechanics that do it better.
Yeah, I think so. Now, they don't have them mixed like this in one game, and I think there's something worth celebrating for that. But yes, it's just not that great of a game. I'm not going to talk to any more people, but I do want to show off another mechanic. You can also just pull out your camera phone at any time, and you can look for distortions. I don't think we're going to find one here, but let's try to go to a different place. I would like to see a distortion so I can show it. It's just like a digital glitch thing that's going on. Let's try the woods. Maybe that'll be better. And you can see these glitches by using your phone, and that will get you items sometimes, or sometimes it's a battle. Here's one. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, look, it's glitching out. What could this be? It's a stat item. Woo! I can upgrade a stat.
Cool.
Fantastic. It just, I don't know.
It's a bummer.
It all feels slow. It all feels like a slog. I do like the Digimon though. I like befriending the Digimon. I like evolving the Digimon, which again is a slow process. Again, I've put 30 hours into this game. I evolved this one into the Seadramon. He used to be one of these Betamon. And who else did I evolve? I evolved a Biomon, this one, into Birdramon, that one. Those are the 2 things I've evolved in the entire time I've been here, outside of the children ones that can evolve and de-evolve at will. Everything else I've just befriended, and I can see, like, oh, look at this Tuskmon that we just got. I can go in, I can see what its evolution is. Oh, look, it can turn into all these things. Eventually. But I haven't gotten the things to make it evolve. And from what I've seen, those things come very rarely. And that's just another thing that slows this game down. It's just so slow. It's just so incredibly slow. And
it's a bummer.
And it is a bummer. And, for a visual novel, even when you're talking to things, it doesn't move the plot forward all that often. And even when it does, it's still just a slog. All these characters are talking about how they just want to go home and they want to figure out what to do. And everybody just kind of talks to each other about the things they could do. Yeah. And then an hour later, they'll go, okay, I guess let's move the plot forward. And you get really no choice over anything that happens other than which Digimon you choose to bring with you in the battles. And that's a bummer. It's just a bummer.
My dogs are even upset about this.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Anyway, Bobby, that is Digimon Survive. As much as it is frustrating me and making me sad, I'm still putting the time into this. I still hope that there's something here that I will take it from it. And I just haven't gotten it yet, and that's the sad part to me.
Well, there's good news is we still play a lot of other games, and there's some other good games out there that you can be checking out besides this one.
That's true. It's true, and you probably should. I'm going to keep playing this because I'm broken, but I would suggest other people to maybe not. Like, I'm a big Digimon fan, and even I'm going, I don't know if this is the one, guys. And that makes me very sad. Anyway, Bobby, thank you for joining me on this journey. I'm glad you survived. And we'll see you next time on Quick Looks with Casual Hour.